Hi, this is Ranjini Nambiar. Welcome to The Dope, to the Superwoman of the Travel Industry series. Today, again, we are on a lockdown situation. The pandemic has struck us very bad, and maybe we have another 1 week more to go. Today, we have with us Ms. Komal Seth, the Director of Linking Reps. Komal has been the head of marketing for North India at Kuoni Outbound, graduating into the India country head for the Philippines. Being the country manager for the Philippines Tourism Board, analyzing destination positioning, arrival increase, and strategy to further strengthen brand recall, she established herself as the PR mogul, becoming one of the youngest self-started women entrepreneurs in the industry through her own brand, Linking Reps. Komal, I mean, though we've not met you, I have not met you in person, but this platform has really given me an opportunity to understand you better. And for the benefit of the viewers, could you go back a little into the journey into your past and give us a slight brief on what you've been and what you do currently?
Hi Rajni, thank you for having me over. Nice meeting you. I think it's a great idea to interact on this forum and to keep us alive, to keep us, oxygenated with our business. A little about myself, about the past journey. I started the company Linkin with a thought to do something for myself, but there was never a mission. But once the company succeeds, the thought turns into a mission. And I think for the last 5 years, every year there's a mission to grow, there's a mission to become better. Because, I created my past and it is a company which will now create our future. So in the past, I've been a dedicated employee. I've been very committed. And that is what I'm doing until now while I'm the founder of the company. But I still feel that I still maybe work more as a worker because, there is not one responsibility, but there are multiple responsibilities. I would not, there is nothing that I would like to talk about my past. I was a regular girl who wanted to work, who wanted to grow with very strong family values. I gave up my father's family business to start something of my own. I think that time it was to prove myself. But today it's, that immaturity of, getting proof or doing something with the thought is over. It's a serious business now. We're not a big company. We are not making turnovers in crores, but that does not matter. What matters is the intent and the mission behind it.
Absolutely. And what does Linking Reps right now represent? I mean, what are the portfolios which you handle?
So Linkin Rep is a boutique representation company, and we are into 360-degree travel representation. Currently, our clients, if I start with my first client, I will not start in terms of how big and how small the client is. I'll go back with the journey. Our clients are Sri Lankan Airlines. We handle the PR and marketing and events for Sri Lanka Airlines for 17 cities in India. We represent Turkey Tourism in India, the media and PR for Turkey Tourism, and we report into the counselor in Delhi. Then we have these really pretty boutique hotels that we represent. These are called Asia Leisure, under the brand of Asia Leisure. These are old colonial houses which have turned to a hotel. The smallest hotel being 3-room hotel and the largest being a 50-room hotel. These are based in southern Sri Lanka. Coming further, we also represent Kingsbury and Amaya Group, which is out of Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Kingsbury is the iconic hotel of Sri Lanka. Everyone who's been to Sri Lanka,
I've been there.
never miss Kingsbury.
Yes.
And Kingsbury also has another brand, boutique brand called Amaya. We represent Amaya Sri Lanka and Amaya Maldives. Amaya Maldives, of course, is our favorite baby in the block because it sells a lot. And Maldives, of course, is a destination that everyone wants to aspire and go to.
Absolutely.
So that's our current client portfolio. And other than that, we take up standalone projects with celebrities, Bollywood artists, because, as we grow up in the ladder, earlier we used to call people to let them know who we are. Now people call us that, we have a brand. Can we collaborate with you? There are a couple of other brands that we work with on monthly basis.
So you are on a artist management to celebrity management to hotel representations. So there is a lot of PR portfolio which you handle, like a large. So there is a marketing angle and a PR angle as well, right? I mean, two separate.
And we do sales, and we do sales for the hotels too. Yeah.
Do sales for the hotels as well. And do you also take reservations as well, or just the same?
No, we don't. No, we're not into the B2C setup right now. Like I told you, the mission, when the mission started for being a good company, we had to be ethical. And if we or anyone who's in this space starts doing B2C, then what are we doing other than what our partners are doing? And I think we all have to respect each other's business and not cross those lines.
Absolutely. Komal, how do you think gender dynamics have evolved in the travel industry?
I think we've come a long way. I joined the industry 13 years back, and when I used to enter a roadshow or a travel forum or a conference, the ratio of men to women was 9:1. Sure. And you do feel that you are in a minority.
Okay.
Things have changed. Today, women are holding very strong positions, especially in the business that I am, in the representation and market PR business. A lot of companies are headed by women, and I think like in the film industry, how nepotism has stopped. I think it's the same for travel too. It's not about men or women anymore. It's about survival of the fittest. Whoever survives and does the best is what people want and want to touch people. It doesn't matter whether you're a male or a female. But of course, our business involves a lot of travel within travel.
Sure.
Our vertical is travel, but we have to travel a lot for the job that we do. And I think the women has to take a backseat because there are much more responsibilities. Mm-hmm. And, men have that advantage that they can travel, they can leave behind responsibilities, lock their mind and just concentrate towards business. So this is a little gap which will always remain because of, the responsibilities that we, men and women, perform generically in the world. But other than that, I think there is not much of a problem now.
So Komal, what kind of advice would you give a lot of ladies, girls who would love to carve a niche in the travel industry or in the PR arena? I know PR arena is totally different from what the travel industry is. But for you are a better person because you meet a lot of travel partners as well. So probably you know it well.
So I strongly believe that women work better than men. They have higher level of commitment and they have more precision. Our team is a women-dominated team. It's a female-dominated team. Of whatever little that I can guide my team, my colleagues, is that I always tell them that don't take your work as an arena of just making money. When you get up in the morning, go to work, keeping in mind that this is your career and you have to do it for the next 30 or 40 years of your life. I do not encourage them to be to revolt against their normal norms. But, women are blessed to be multitask and we can handle a house and a career both. Just don't think of it as only a month end salary bracket for yourself. And I think for women, it is more important to be confident at work, which I don't mean to be derogatory here, but I feel if you dress up well, if you take care of yourself, if you look good, you be more confident in your talk, in your public meetings. And I think the most important part for a woman to be strong and confident, not in the travel, not in the PR industry, but just in the corporate world when she is working, is to have very strong integrity and to be very confident and honest about what they are doing. If you're doing that, I think nothing can beat you. We all can go wrong, we all can go right, we can make blunders, and we can take wrong decisions. But if you're confident, sometimes you have to do blunder also with with confidence. So if you do that, I think you will learn from it and you will move forward stronger.
That's really nice. And coming to the current situation in the travel industry, I mean, it's been the worst hit. How has the lockdown of COVID-19 affected your business and you personally? I mean,
so when it comes to business, of course, it's not our industry alone which is affected. It's a global showdown. It's a good global melt, and every industry is affected. But I think the first one to be hit was the industry, especially our airlines. My heart cries when I see all those aircraft babies parked, who are not flying. But Rajni, we also have to remember that when we start a business, we're always prepared. No one promised us that every day is going to be good, and when business was good, when we were making profit, we were very happy. So I'm a very conservative, business-oriented woman. I mean to say, a leader. I always think that there will be a bad time. So I did prepare ourselves for the bad time, but I didn't ever think that we'll be in a situation like this, that we'll actually get a summer vacation of 2 months to just stay home. It is stressful. It makes me think every day. But I'm very positive that this is going to get over. And this is a great time to reboot, regenerate, and restart. So I'm not doing a lot of Zoom calls and a lot of conference calls, because we'll be harrowing people's mind, just asking them to be with us on con calls every day. Instead, I ask them to think and write to me on email and WhatsApp to what do they think should be the next step forward. So in terms of business, we are prepared, but I don't know how long will we be prepared. So this thing has definitely taught me that there should always be a plan B. Any business in the past that we thought is not what we do or we don't want to do, I think we're not going to do the same mistake again. We're going to take up any tiny business that comes our way, because each drop makes the ocean. And when it comes to personally how it has affected me, I don't know. It has not affected me. I'm very positive about it. I'm just taking it as a time when we were in school. It's a summer vacation. It's going to end in July. Somehow I feel this is not going to end before July. And especially for people like us, we were traveling so much, red-eye flights, 2-3 flights, sometimes 3 flights a day, different countries, different food, water retention, constipation, headaches. I'm just living on a reboot. I'm doing what I really love. I'm doing a lot of naturopathy. I'm doing a lot of natural face packs. I'm cooking a lot.
Wow,
so I think these little things that you can do for yourself, and this time shall pass through.
And is that the views on the future, Aina? I'm sure will travel be the same after the pandemic?
I don't think travel will be the same. It'll be much more, because I can guarantee you one fact, that when people have stayed home, they have realized that emotions and relationships and memories matter much more than things. I think the moment people start regaining their bank balance, they start feeling financially and spiritually secure, they will start traveling, because now people would want to carry memories and experiences than goods. We've stayed inside the house and literally lived in the same 5 pair of clothes every day. We've realized the kind of clutter that we have accumulated in our
accumulated over the years.
Yeah, we don't need that. So travel has taken a hit, but I promise you, the way people are going to travel after August and September, that would have never happened before. The first thing people will want to do is travel outside, create memories, go to the beach, have a suntan, have a drink, So it's going to be a different, life is, this route is going to give us a different way of living life, different way of traveling. Like I always tell my, friends, my colleagues, during my shows, that the best stories are written in between the pages of my passport and not between what I read. So I think people are going to create more stories, more memories, and spend more on travel. So going forward, for companies like me and for travel agents, I think it's the time to upsell, and upsell. People want A, you give them A+. People want A+, you give them O.
Brilliant. That's a brilliant take on the whole way. And I love that positivity. I think that's what keeps us alive in this kind of, for me, I know a lot of people ask me, how do you feel about it? I think our screen times have increased. We've been doing so many webinars, and I've been ever busy, and I've taught all over India, my trade friends, a lot about domestic tourism. That's what I did, if you ask me. So I guess each person has done something valuable in these times, which has taught us where to focus on. And thank you so much,
Certainly.
Komal. So much. Thank you so much for taking time off and giving us a lot of insight into your life. And we'll definitely meet in person
Definitely.
when
With the
you
big
come into
hug.
Bangalore or when I come into Delhi. For
Delhi.
sure, we will. And we keep in touch. And
Thanks, Rajni. Thanks a lot. You were a really good host.
So, to all the viewers who are watching The Dope, I'm sure you loved this session with Komal. So please do like, share, and subscribe as always. And thank you. Till then, stay safe, stay blessed. Bye-bye for now. Thank you.